I think it was not good enough. I think you had one very good player, one star boy who dragged the team along, a few good supporting acts, but you saw evidence of everything wrong with the Black Stars in the present state there. You saw a team that just couldn't defend, a team that made incredibly bad errors in conceding 2 goals, a team that's thrown away twice leads that gave them victory within sight. You saw a team that has now gone 6 games at the Nations Cup without winning any. A team that has not won a game at the Nations Cup since 2019. A team that in the last, 3 Nations Cup games has drawn with Egypt and now has not lost to Comoros and Cape Verde. And a team that will go into the final game having to win and having to do the usual math. So when the euphoria of Starboy Kudus dies down, I thought it was incredible today. The first goal was really practically out of nothing.
Absolutely.
The second goal was down to really good work by Dennis Odoi.
True.
And Kudus picking his moment well. But the overall performance of the team needs a lot more working on. And when we get down from the highs of the moment, we realize that this is still a team that needs a lot of work done.
It definitely needs a lot of work done. But, I mean, let's go into the first goal that we conceded. What was Iñaki Williams doing at the defense? Was it upon the instruction of the coach? And obviously you can't blame him for that kind of a back pass. He's not a very typical defender. Can he get away with it at any point based on what you know about how this should happen?
Partly what you do is that you track back. The time, the era period where the striker just sits in the opposition half and tries to get a goal is gone. So Iñaki Williams was doing what a lot of modern day forwards, modern day wingers sometimes are asked to do, which is to step back often and as much as you can when you've stepped back to now help with the defensive duties. So that's what Iñaki Williams was doing.
So he was just unlucky with that back pass?
He didn't have awareness of where he was, which was the problem. Because you raise your head one step, he could easily have been seen that there was an unrushing trio of at least of Egyptian players, and then he could have played the ball. But this has been typical of the Black Stars in this tournament. Bukhari commits almost the same error.
Absolutely.
In the last game, there were 2 errors of similar nature. Somebody needs to do something about that.
And is it a coaching problem, you think?
It's a concentration problem. Concentration problems can be solved by coaching. And I think that's something that we may need to solve as time goes on.
Well, and I'm also looking at the defense itself, right? And how it was set up. And the people in there, the players who were set up by the coach for the defense. Could we have had a better pair of defenders in the persons of the back 2 that we have? That is we had the back 2.
No, you mean that the central defensive pair of Salisu and Jiku.
Absolutely.
I think in many ways they are best players. Today they were not the most error prone. Jiku was the best player in the first game. I thought he played brilliantly today as well. I thought overall he was pretty good. Look, the bigger problem with the Black Stars really is that you need, in a team, you need multiple characters like Kudus to do well. When the Black Stars was at his peak in a game like this, it was either Kojo Asamoah taking the game by the scruff of the neck, or Asamoah Gyan taking the game by the scruff of the neck, something like that. And at the moment, we don't seem to have any of that, and it is creating big-time problems for us.
Now, but if you see the level of, to some, inconsistency in terms of the kind of structure that the coach wanted to play, okay, you bring in Bukhari, right, in the second half. He commits an error. You take him off, and then you bring us. Does that concern you? Does worry you?
No,
I think from where I said I got a bit concerned, really.
I kind of liked that decision by the coach. It was almost as if to say, look, boys, I'm not a softie. I can make the hardcore decisions.
You should make
because really, Bukari had spent a few minutes on, commits the error for the equalizer out of nothing, has the opportunity to get into the box, drive in and cross balls 2-3 times, and every time he hits the first man, it doesn't get anywhere. In the space of 15 minutes that he lasted, he had been completely ineffective. And I think the coach just wanted an opportunity to say to the rest of the team, if you're not good enough, you're not playing.
I mean, can this team get any better with the kind of mindset that you saw today? I mean, that's where
this team can get better with better concentration. By sticking in a bit more. I don't know what instructions they're playing to, but it seems that too many players want to take 1, 2, 3 touches before they pass the ball. That's what put Bukari in trouble. You saw even after that Gideon Mensah preferred to play out from the back.
Absolutely.
So there is a problem that needs to be. It's obvious that the Black Stars can't play that way, and they need to do everything possible to ensure that they are not playing that way on a regular basis.
Now, we have a number of reactions. In fact, so many people who have been having this conversation on social media, and we're monitoring it quite closely. Jerome Ochiri hopefully joins us as well. He is a sports journalist, former editor of Kotoko Express. He watched this game as well. But we're going to be running up in a bit. We have the last group game to play.
Yeah.
We've all been reduced to mathematicians again.
It's simple maths.
Unfortunately.
It's simple maths.
Unfortunately. People who didn't like mathematics in school, I see them doing a lot of
the nature of the group is maths. Look, Egypt has 2 points.
Yes.
Ghana has 1.
True.
Cape Verde and Mozambique play tomorrow, depending on how it ends. If Cape Verde wins, they have 1 place sealed. It becomes a direct fight between them and Egypt. The advantage is that in this, there will be at least a few teams who finish as the 3rd place best teams, which means in this tournament, 4 points could be good enough to go through. My point is simple. Whatever the maths for Ghana is fairly simple. You go in there, you win. Tomorrow, if Cape Verde and Mozambique ends in a draw, even better. But whatever happens in that final game, Ghana simply needs to go in there, win. In that final game, Ghana simply needs to go in there. I think you can realistically ask questions of whether this team has shown a capacity to be able to win at this level. I mentioned 6 games at the Nations Cup without a win. I mentioned games against Comoros where we've struggled. I mentioned how we've struggled to beat teams like Madagascar and the rest. So that's where the problem is. But it's fairly simple.
Do you see us going through beyond the group stages?
I said there was no way we are losing today. I think we'll go through.
We'll go through?
Yes, I think so.
You're one of the few hopeful people that I've seen. But anyway, but you're saying something that I am not, from the sports perspective, and I respect that. Thank you so much for coming. Michael Oti Adjei is a group head here at News, here at Media Journal, and very celebrated sports journalist here in this country, and sharing his thoughts from what he saw the Black Stars do today here on Ghana Tonight.